the first 3 days, we learned how to film together as a group. We also learned how to carry out an evaluation by story collection.
We trainees went through 90 stories. We wrote down all the blockers and enablers and change of all the 90 stories.
Sabla had a very big conflict with 2 of its neighboring communities, Bauma and Longo.
But before this time, they live in peace, share everything together.
That conflict brought a lot of problems to them.
During this conflict, it caused a lot of harm on children in one way or the other.
People separated, fight one another, trying to destroy their properties.
During the conflict, some family members were separated from one another.
Some family members lose all of their savings.
And some family members migrated from one community to another.
Some properties have been stolen by other members and they.
It came to a time, Betema, Bauma and Longo people, they don't come for medication at Saula. So it was a disaster, health disaster for people over there.
Mothers and suckling mothers were not taking their children to Saula to seek medication for their children.
But during the conflicts, children were no longer attending school.
In the presence of conflict, education is 0.
But during the conflicts, these children were deprived by their old headmaster. But the children set up a group. They went to their parents, tell their parents that they are no longer, they no longer want conflicts, they want peace.
Telling their parents that they should try and make peace among themselves.
They want to go to school because they want to achieve their aims and objectives, that is to be somebody in future.
Fortunately, on the part of that community, we carried this CFS project.
A group was formed called the Children Action Research Group as well as the Adult Action Research Group.
In there, we have 7 standards, and one of those standards is safe and protective environment. That is learning in a safe, coexisting environment.
This training was provided to the Children Action Research Group, but after the training, they were able to identify their localized problem.
Their localized problem, they discovered, was the conflict within that community, which deprived many children from coming to school.
They understood that the enrollment of that school has dropped rapidly.
They were able to explain to us the issues surrounding the conflict.
These children were deprived by even the community members, by their friends, because whenever they saw each other, they say you are from this community, you are from that community.
They decided to make peace, and indeed they strike peace, they strike compromise amongst the 3 communities.
The family members work hand in hand to see that peace has restored in the community.
Now that there is no conflict, children are now having access to education. They now have adequate learning materials.
The children are now happy, that is the change, because the old head teacher, who was Mr. Kukumu, is no longer in their school.
And today the community is happy to work with the newly transferred headmaster, who is happy also to stay in that community.
They are really happy because now they really feel belong for being to this school, because they now interact with each other, the land.
Another change also is that now people can save money instead of using those money on conflict. Instead of using they can now use those money to educate their children or buy books and shoes for our school bags for their children.
Now they are having radios, they are having school materials, benches, books and pencils.
People are now doing everything in common. Students among themselves, they now have peace.
The resources they fought over, which was the bush and the river, they have now all agreed that they can use and work together to use that resources together.
They are now living in peace and unity. They are now sharing the streams, boats, schools, the hospitals.
They decided to continue doing their fishing together. They decided to continue doing their farming together.
Today, they can interact among themselves. There are social gathering happening within those 2-3 communities, and they can now sit down and talk about the development of their children.
In the place of peace, there will be improved education where peace exists.